The biggest struggle that any human being has, regardless of anything external, is to accept and love themselves completely, to the point that they celebrate themselves completely. That's what every single human being is looking for. And to make that into right or wrong is never correct in relation to anybody else. It can never be correct in relation to another human being's opinion. So what you're looking for is to be at peace and to have a pure heart. And that's one thing that you can only find as you become free. Because it's nothing to attain. It is nothing to achieve. It is nothing to gain. It is a recognition and a realization that only becomes completely obvious and apparent as you rid yourself of judgment. That's how you become free. That's what God wants for you. God wants you to be free. God wants you to listen to your heart and use your mind in all simplicity. Listen to, give praise, and stay inside your heart as much as possible and use your mind. If you are not in your heart, if you do not have your energy focused in your heart, in all your experience and all your interactions, mostly, then you are either in your groin or you are in your head. So if you are in your head, you are full of judgment, evaluations and calculations, and that is painful because you're always calibrating your own acceptance in relation to something else other than you. So if you feel that you agree with the feeling you feel inside your chest when you say that nobody else can accept you, you cannot put your own acceptance and acknowledgement in the hands of somebody else. Nobody else can dictate that. But if you stay inside your head full of judgment, you are actually doing that. So you are enabling that. You are accepting that. And if you stay inside your groin, you will be extremely physical. You want acknowledgement through physicality, which is mainly sex. So you will get acknowledged by somebody holding your hand, but you will that will become saturated pretty fast, and you want somebody to hold you, and then you want somebody to hold you closer, and then you want somebody to... You get the idea. There's nothing wrong with intimacy, but if you acknowledge yourself this way, it is not healthy. If you acknowledge yourself in the eyes of others and always performing to meet the judgment and the evaluation and the calculation, that's unhealthy. So you cannot be unbalanced, and that's what the universe is trying to tell you. That's what God is trying to tell you. And you cannot be in perfect harmony and balance. It is always a bit of waver, but if you try to stay inside your chest and affirm yourself, then you will feel good. Then you will feel God. because that's the same thing. Good God love in your heart. And whatever somebody else wants to do together with another human being that is mature is none of your business. You don't judge that, because you are not experiencing what they are experiencing. So that means that it's not your business. The only thing that goes against everything, that you actually don't need an opinion for from anybody else. You only need to relate back to yourself. And what do you relate back to? You relate back to truth or lie. And if you are lying, you are hurting and you are living against nature. And if you do that, you will have opposition outside of yourself, because you are claiming something that is such an obvious lie that you will run into trouble. Or society accepts that, and we, despite any external manifestation, we are supporting lies. We are supporting a devious, lying, false society just to get out of that conflict. But it's not a conflict. It has become a conflict because we accept the debate. But there is no debate about anything that is an obvious lie, that is going against nature, that there is just an acceptance or not. If I get a lie straight in my face, I'm not going into debate. I'm just saying, don't lie to me. Please don't lie to me. If you lie to me, you can walk out of here, because I don't want anything to do with you. Because my life is all about God, is all about love, and that's all about truth, because it's all the same thing. God, good, truth, gratitude. It's all about faith. It's all about positivity. And it's all about truth. Honesty in relation to yourself. And if you're trying to fix your life in the periphery by looking at how others look at you, or having a strong opinion and judging how others should be to suit your needs of judgments, then this is a conflict situation all over the world. You are supposed to care about other people, but true care comes from truth. That's why it's called true care. Truth within you. So when you are truthful and honest and in your heart and don't judge, and you can acknowledge and affirm yourself and your own love, which is here, then you are able to give true care. Because it is not caring to endorse and help somebody else to lie just because you want to make them comfortable. But there is a strong tradition in the world about comfortability, judgment, and hospitality and tradition. It is like we're living in a world of overconsumption, and it's not healthy, and it's destroying the environment. And let's say I go home to a family. I don't care about talking about nationalities. And they offer me so much to eat all the time. And I don't want to eat because I'm full. But they are so full of themselves that if I don't eat the food, they project that I am a terrible and ungrateful guest, which is all about them, as I don't eat up all of their food. They make it about me being a grateful, humble, pleasant, nice guest in their home. But it's not. It is not at all. It is all about them and their ego that needs to be fulfilled and acknowledged, that they are such wonderful people and such wonderful hosts, and they are giving me so much in their home. That's all about them. It is not about me. But they make it about me. Because if I say no thank you, I am horrible as a person. If I say no thank you, I'm full, I am terrible as a guest. I am not. So the world is a contrasting world, and it's fear or love, negativity, positivity, Satan, God. Those are all metaphors to understand what is right and wrong. And what is right and wrong is something that doesn't need a bunch of evaluation and calculation and comparison. It is something that it's intuitive, and it's a moral thing. An intuitive moral understanding is here. It is here, not here. And if you are imbalanced, if you are inside your head or in your groin, you will do destructive things because you are living in a destructive relationship within yourself. And that will affect and cross over anything that has to do with moral, because you will do it to please the ego, or you will do it to please your sexuality. And that makes for a world of war. It stems from this. You can look at two nations fighting, sending missiles and blowing up children and destroying universities or whatever. But this is the origin. This is the cause of everything. And the main cause of it is to acknowledge God as something. God is no name, no gender, no thing. It is non-conceptual. And God is love, which means that God is equanimous, accepting, and in a natural moral code that works universally. But you can use your moral from another point that is not in balance. Take your body, take your groin and your head and your heart, and then you tilt that like this. You will have two opposite ends, and you will have a middle. You will have the groin here and the head here, and the heart will end up in the middle. Your heart is actually tilted 24 degrees to the left in your body. The earth is having seasons: winter, summer, fall, spring. That occurs because the earth has a tilt on its own axle, and that axle is 24 degrees to the right. So you see, it creates like a shape of a heart, actually. And it's all in perfect balance. The universe and God is equanimous and in perfect balance. Everything is perfect. What happens in the world that is destructive and so painful is we fighting against nature from within. Nothing is outside of us. That comes way later. All manifestation is a false understanding and maintaining of energy, claiming that it's loving and positive, but it's actually the opposite. That's why truth is the number one healer. That's why Jesus said, I am truth, I am light, I am the salvation, I am your redemption. That's because truth is. And you can take Jesus and get him out of the picture because it's the message. Listen to the message. Don't get hung up on the physical manifestation of a human being, like this video and what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about here is truth. But I can be like this and talk. I can paint 2 eyes and a mouth here, and I can wiggle my knee a little bit so you can be entertained as you're watching this video. But everything is from the inside out, and everything is energy, and energy is vibration, and energy is vibration in motion, which becomes emotion, and emotion is feeling. Emotion is something that comes and goes, but feeling is a general state. And the general state of feeling is what attracts and manifests things outside of you that creates a world. Because if you have a general state of fear, you will have fearful thoughts and fearful emotions and fearful visions and dreams and imaginations. And that will be manifested outside of the world. If you have a general state of feeling good, you will have wonderful dreams and wonderful imaginations, wonderful visions. So wonderful that when you have them, you're lying in your bed on your pillow and you cry and you smile because it makes you feel so good, because you dream so beautiful things inside your mind. And that is what you're projecting outside. And that creates another type of world. A world that is more positive and giving and rewarding and accepting and loving and peaceful and everything. So can you see how important it is to feel God? To feel God, to feel good, to feel love. God is love. Free, accepting, non-conceptual, non-sexual. Non-conceptual, non-sexual, free, accepting, open, true, caring. That's right and wrong. It will always be a communication and a relationship. You are always in relation to your own deeds, thoughts, emotions, everything. You might have slept insufficiently the night before this day. You might have had 3 cups of coffee too much. You might have been out in the sunshine having a walk and the temperature was higher than it was yesterday, and then you didn't have those 3 cups of coffees, but you had a sufficient amount of sleep. You have to relate to everything. And that's why gratitude and humility and living your life is all about relating. It is all relative. And that's what Einstein said to us. It's all relative, which means that you relate to everything as something new all the time. And if you're in a relationship with a partner, there are so many factors, and we have developed and evolved. So a situation that happened a month ago is might seem like the same situation a month later, but it's not, because we have developed and evolved. And then you have to meet that, then you have to relate to that again and see where it is. Maybe we said that we understood it a month ago and we agreed upon it, but maybe we didn't. And maybe the person that you're talking to was in agreement, but you weren't. You weren't in agreement, but you thought you were. So that's why this comes up again a month later, because you were the one who didn't understand. And that is so beautiful, because you get another chance to make it right. And you get another chance to be humble again. And you get another chance to be grateful and meet love again and again. And that's life. That's love. So don't give up on love. Don't give up at all. It is beautiful to be in a loving relationship with yourself, because everything you relate to becomes beautiful, because you feel that you are. I feel that I am. And I'm 42 in a month. And it took me a while, but I get it now. And I used to be so angry and full of judgment because I was mistreated, and then I mistreated myself. And there's a lot of anger and frustration in living a life that you do not want, and coming to the realization that you have been doing that. But I'm 42, and I will not add a word that begins with an O after that, because I will never be. Never. I was just born on a specific date, and that's how many years I've been around. So I'm 42 years young. That's what I'm always going to be. I'm going to be 96 years young if I die when I'm 96. What is right and what is wrong is not a textbook. It is not a manual. You cannot read a manual and create a bunch of rules that will suit everything in every way in the human experience. That is the most destructive thing you can do. You know why? After watching this video. Because it means that you stop relating. You judge completely. That's inhumane. That's actually a robot. And that's why we die. So if you want to live, and if you want to live in a world of love, you got to become free, and you got to set yourself free, or else it won't function in relation to a world that is ever changing. You have to dance that dance as well, or else you're a stiffy in the corner pulling the plug on the disco, telling everybody to go home and do their math homework so they can go back and weld on the machine. Bye.